Good morning, Happy New Year. Hope everyone is doing well and finding a way to do something that is restorative to you physically, emotionally, spiritually. Hope you were able to find something to enjoy with people that you care about and love over the Christmas and New Year's holidays, and that you are well. It is brown here, as you can see. They keep forecasting snow, and we're waiting for it. But we'll enjoy walking in tennis shoes and no mittens for a little bit longer. And I know people are touting global warming, and perhaps that's true. And perhaps if you're like my great uncle, it's global weirding. He's a geologist, and he reminds me regularly to look back over centuries and patterns on the globe, and not just decades. There are patterns. And today's devotional reminds me that no matter what message of fear the news throws at you, or the culture, or the world, or people in your life, no matter what fear gets thrown your way, we serve a God, we serve the Creator, who holds all of it in his hands and knows what he's doing. He found a way to create out of nothing, and when we trust him and we follow him, we have nothing to fear. He's not a God of putting limits and bondage on us. He doesn't make us earn his approval. He shows us a way to live freely, abundantly, and peacefully. So may you find a way in this coming year to focus in on truth and on him, and to let all the fears fade and take a back seat. And to give you a little preview of what's coming, Sue Nelson and I are going to do a free workshop at the end of this month. And I'll give you a little preview to what's coming in that in the write-up. We're going to make little affirmation cards based on what God says, on who he says we are. So a little tag to encourage our focus and give us some encouragement in the days and months ahead. And then February is a pretty big month. February 14th has a double holiday this year, Valentine's Day and the first day of Lent. And since I've been focusing on Advent the last couple of years, I thought this year we could do something kind of fun for Lent. It's a 40-day holiday, and I'm thinking about not woodblock prints. I've been inspired by those again, but I find wood very hard to work with. No pun intended. So I'm thinking about carving linoleum. Let me know if you like this idea or not, if you want to join in on the 40-day challenge or not, and if you want in on the free workshop with Sue Nelson and I making those personal affirmation cards to start the new year with. And I know lots of people have been talking about cleaning and organizing and starting the year fresh. A friend of mine sent out her newsletter, and I quite enjoyed some of what she said on there, and I'm just gonna, what I can remember of it, pass along to you. So one of the things is to not try to finish it all, but to prioritize it and find little things that you can accomplish, because that gets the mojo going, I guess. It gets those feelings of pride, accomplishment, I can do it, flowing in you. And then a really important part is to release, to let go. And I did this yesterday. I went through some old art projects, and I just threw a bunch out. I'm like, you know, and I am in reality not going to finish those. And it was a little bit hard at first because I had really wanted to finish them. at one point. I was feeling inspired by them. But as the year had gone by, and actually some of this was, I think, 2 years, maybe even 3 years old, I realized that they were forming a bit of bondage and weight on me. And it felt pretty good, actually, to throw them in the garbage and release myself from the burden of needing to finish them. So go through your things. Ask the Lord for wisdom and discernment about what you need to release and what you need to focus on in the days ahead. And that does reflect back to my focus of the last couple months of forgiveness. Dogs just found something. Forgiveness, of letting go and choosing how to move forward. Of not letting the pain of the past or a burden of the past hold you hostage. So I did finish The Way of Letting Go. Highly recommend reading that. And I can't remember if it was last week in the Transformational Studio or the week before, but either way, I'm going to try to find the sermon link that I listened to about forgiveness and how it's like we want to be a spigot of forgiveness, of receiving the forgiveness that God gives us and then letting it flow through us onto others and offering forgiveness. And one of the cool things about that is it releases the burden from us, and then forgiveness is constantly being renewed. So I liked that visual, and I hope that is encouraging to you as we move forward into this new year. May you release what is no longer yours to carry and start a fresh path. Love to hear what you're wanting to focus on this year, what you've heard God saying to you. Also in the write-up, I will put a link for a book I'm going to read and video later today, and hope that is also an encouragement to you. You could listen to it on your own and just enjoy a good story, or listen to it with your kids. Happy New Year, and take care, guys.